Welcome to If You Condone This Shit, They Will Own Your Shit, the American Thinkers podcast for people who are smart enough to form their own thoughts based on information and not emotion. Thinkers don't feel a fact, but know the truth based on the facts. While this podcast is not about me, you need to know a little about me. So, here it is. I served a tour duty in the military and have been a firefighter for over 30 years. I like to say that 30 years of taking care of my customer has given me the equivalent of a degree in the humanities. I think I see the world as a protector and not an enforcer. It is my belief that each person has limitless value and that we are more alike than we are different. This podcast is a passion project based on my thoughts that have run through my mind for the last 5 years. This podcast will be unlike many other podcasts. By that I mean, I will not tell you what to think. I will tell you things to think about. These ideas will be followed up for the most part by facts or premises that I believe will make sense to you after you hear them and work through them in your mind with a little work from you. Yes, you may have to look up some shit from time to time. This is to keep me honest. I will also incorporate and direct you to other podcasts in my cast to let you listen to someone that can explain it better than me, because I am not the oracle of all knowledge. I will offer my opinions for the most part. You can agree or disagree with said opinions. That is your right. But if I can plant the seeds of thought in your mind, that may be the first step to growth for you and others who listen. As I said, it has taken a long time for me to put these things you will hear together. I am sure it will take some time on your part to grasp some of the ideas. I'm going to tell you here and now what I won't do, and that is tell you who to hate or tell you someone deserves to die. This podcast may make you feel uncomfortable at times. That's okay. I'm not here to feed your ego. I will try to expand your mind. And if you get mad, hate listen. As long as you are listening, there is hope that change will happen. I will give you my email address. If you have opposing ideas that have some logic in it, I will use it. But I make no promises. I will not use your hate-fueled rant to promote that hate. There are hundreds of podcasts out there looking for new members of the hate brigade. Look them up. You can leave a comment on the podcast itself, but be warned, if you say stupid and hateful shit, I will make fun of you and comment on the stupid and hateful shit you say. And finally, what I will try to do is tell you who your true enemies are and how you're being controlled by forces that want you to be mad at the so-called others, because the others don't have a lobbying arm working on their behalf. They can't buy congressmen, senators, state legislators, judges, cable TV, and radio channels. The others are not in the halls of Congress writing laws that slowly take away your rights to enjoy your life. These are the pieces of shit that divide us so they can control everything and extract more money while they remain unseen and unchallenged. We will explore why we need a government and what it does, why there are people in the government that are working against you instead of for you, like representative government is supposed to work. They are just lazy pieces of shit that draw a paycheck and do nothing for it. And doing nothing for you, that's not representative government. And ask yourself, why do these do-nothings get elected over and over again? The answer is they say, squirrel, look over there. Let me tell you who's fucking over you. It's not me, it's the others. I have power to help you and your family, but the others is taking everything. Don't you just hate them? So vote for me and I will try to change, but you have to help me with a little hate. Again, these others whom are stealing your money, I tried to pass bills for you, but those others will get a little of that. We can't have that, wink, wink. So, in this time of elections, think about that. Think about all the people running and have the gall and audacity to tell you that they're going to fuck you. Isn't that amazing? There are people running for office today saying, hey, I'm going to take away your Social Security. Hey, I'm going to take away your rights. I'm going to fuck you, and you're going to vote for me. And why would you do that? Because I have an R or a D next to my name? No. You vote for somebody that can do something for you. Just FYI. So let's begin. Just a bit of full disclosure. I want to tell you that I am black. Why am I telling you this? Right at this time, I want you to know how I look at the world, and that until a few years ago, I believed that most of America was only 10 to 15% racist. It pains me now to state that I understand that I was off by 30 to 35%. So now I know that that number is closer to 40 to 45%. I know there are those among you that will not feel that America is not that close to being a majority racist country, but I would like those of you with an open mind to listen to me while I provide you with proof. Those of you who are closed mind or Klan adjacent, just hold on while I ask the next question. My question to the racist and Klan adjacent is this, because I want to know the answer to the question. My question to the racist and Klan adjacent is this, because I want to know the answer. Tell me how you came to your irrational hate of black people. Please tell me the story of how you can hate someone that you never met and more than likely never did anything to you except ask for their freedom and to be treated equal. Because for me to hate someone, there must be a transgression against me or someone I love. So please tell me your story about what the evil black people did to you and your family. Did a black person steal your land and make you homeless? Or maybe a crowd of black people lynch a member of your family? Did a group of blacks rape your mother? Did a black police officer kill your unarmed brother, sister, father, or mother? Did a black prosecutor unjustly put you or someone in your family in prison for a crime they didn't commit? Or were they made to work in said prison as slave labor for the benefit of the state? Maybe a group of black legislators passed laws to tell your family where they could eat and sleep. Maybe some black city father voted to put up signs in the town your family was driving through that stated your kind had to be out of town before sundown. Or maybe they passed laws in your city telling you your family in which area of the town they could live or buy a house. And in the area of town, they were sure no banks would give your family a loan. Maybe a black school board made sure your children went to a substandard school, so they were doomed to a life of perpetual poverty. Maybe when you were given the opportunity to get your child in a better school, your little babies were spat upon by a crowd of black people stating that they didn't want your child in their school. And that crowd of black people didn't care about how your child felt when they knew that they were unwanted by their neighbors. And maybe your children had to have the protection of the U.S. Marshals and National Guard to get your babies an equal opportunity. Did black people work for over 155 years to stop your family from voting, terrorize your family with armed vigilantes to overthrow a duly elected government out of office, kill whole towns in one day, and never be held accountable for these terrorist acts? The black people, years later, after committing these atrocities, state that if you tell the true history, it will make their children feel bad about themselves. Black people only want you to tell the fairy tale about America, the part that sounds like the Pledge of Allegiance, the part with liberty and justice for all. So please tell me the story of misfortune that you believe justified your hatred of black people, and I will share it in this podcast, but with one caveat. It has to be a greater transgression than those listed above. Remember that at the start of this question, I told you for me to hate someone, they had to have committed a transgression against me or someone I love. I submit to you, if anyone has a rational reason to hate, it is the black man. Think about that the next time the wave of irrational hate overtakes you. And I touched on this a little bit when I was talking about voting. And I'm going to give you something to think about. This is a quote from one of our founding fathers and patriots. The right to vote for a representative is the primary right by which other rights are protected. To take away this right is to reduce a man to slavery, for slavery consists in being subject to the will of another, and he that has no vote in the election of representative is, in this case, Thomas Paine. And I know how everybody loves Martin Luther King, so I'm going to give you one of his thoughts. Hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Martin Luther King. So I find something interesting on the TV just recently, and it was a commercial in the elections, and it stated, why are white people being discriminated against? I found this very telling and very disingenuous. If white people ever had to face the struggles of black people, I would be the first one in line to help them get equal justice. But to say that you are discriminated against and have no proof of this is a slap in the face to every American who came here and was truly discriminated against, who never got to realize their dreams, who never had the wind at their backs. Just food for thoughts. So we get to the end of this podcast, and it's right about the right time. So I want to share with you a few other podcasts, which I think are a lot better than mine, and will work towards opening up your mind. Right now, I am listening to Rachel Maddow presents Ultra, very good podcast. It'll be in the show notes. PoliticsGirl, an amazing progressive thought person. Stephanie Miller is a radio show that can be had on the internet, and maybe check your local radio shows programming. And The Problem with Jon Stewart, it's a podcast. Stephanie Miller is a podcast too. And just to give you a dose of humor, I suggest listening to Frangela. They have a wonderful podcast called The Final Word and Idiot of the Week. It is amazing. Now, notable sites to check out are the Hartmann Report, the Hartmann Report with Tom Hartmann, and these are list notable sites with that are kind of close to a blog with information, and they do a lot of research. Heather Cox Richardson, Letters from an American. She is amazing, an amazing historian. So, with that note, I have started this journey, and I know I'm on with training wheels at the present time, but I hope to get better on each podcast, and I hope you'll continue to listen. So, with that, I say to you, Scallywag out.